What? Trying again. Welcome in Wednesday, October 22nd, 2025. I'm your host, Gerardo G. Money Pies, and welcome to the session of the Trade Lounge. Hopefully, we're just having a great Wednesday, Wednesday morning, evening, or afternoon, depending on where you're tuning in from. Yeah, in this session, we're going to be looking at gold, speculating to see where it go, and kind of review, a little bit of the education that I provide. Let's see who's saying hello, and then we'll get started right away. Let's see, Uh, reggae. Oh, I just found the radio, so Andy, and that was it. Amy, welcome in. Andrej, Don, welcome in. Pablo, buenos días, buenos días. Let me just say hello here inside here. Yosahandi, welcome in. Amy's, welcome in. New name that I see there, welcome in. Mr. Derek, Julio, Dale, welcome in again. Alvaro, Miss Iris, Joe, what's going on, Joe? Pablo, Rachi, and let's go, guys. Let's go ahead and take it off here. As always, right, these calls are for educational purposes only. Any trade idea or speculation is just that. We're all trading our own funds, and so it's important that we know how to manage our account. I'm going to turn off the video just for the recording's sake. These recordings, you can find them on the YouTube. I have a YouTube channel that I'm storing some content there. If anybody has a link, feel free to share it. But yeah, these are going through the YouTube channel that I have. And this was the setup that we did yesterday during live trading, right? During the New York Open. Obviously we did a top-down analysis. We saw where price was at on the weekly level, on the fib level. We even actually saw how price is at in the quarterly level every 3 months. And long story short, right, there was momentum to the downside. And we sold from this zone right here. Okay, from this zone. And the most important thing, guys, is like you guys know, the way I trade. Good morning, Carol. The way I speculate is I ask myself three simple questions, right? Where is price going? Because that's where I want to take it to. Where are we now? So should we take it to there? Should we just wait and then enter and or wait or not? And then the number three is right, how do we enter, right? Those are the kind of the speculation part of it. And then from there, it's about, okay, how many pips do you need for your trading plan? And because again, I think we only took it to this green line, right? We took it to this green line, 42.64. But look how much it dropped. It dropped double than it dropped double than what I wanted to. But here's the thing, guys. You see, we got in, and I'm waiting here to about 8 o'clock to happen here. But see, we got in right here. What is trading for you? Something you want to master, something that you just want to make a quick buck in the morning. Something very near your spending money, mortgage money or car money, and how much, and then from there, what do you want to do with your time, right? So remember, we got in, give or take, where that red arrow is at. What time was that? That was 8:30 a.m. Central Time. And 3 candlesticks later, okay, that is an hour and 30 minutes. By 9:30, we were done. Okay. By 9:30, we were done. Yes, this move over here looks very nice, but look how much time you had to wait for that to happen. Now, granted, right, if you are able to lock in your profits quickly of whatever your trading goal is, and you have a runner going and an extra position going to just let it go and see wherever it does go, you can. Okay. But again, though, it's like you're always going to be connected to the charts. You're always going to have money on the table. I believe as traders, we're more in and out. Yes, there's swing traders. But again, though, it's intraday, pure intraday trading. You take your money that same day, let a runner go for 1 or 2 days just in case. But I personally rarely do that. But yeah, 90 minutes, we're in and out. Yes, it dropped more, but look where it came back to. So price is always going to come back a lot of times to the areas that we're in. But yeah, gave a really good trade. Happy with those small results there, and I'm basically just trying to trade in the window of opportunity that I have, during this New York Open here. So let's go ahead and speculate, guys. Let's go ahead and look at what I had marked up to start the week, and this is what I had marked up here. Okay, we had a bearish Friday candlestick. Okay, so for starters, right? This is the setup. This is the visual. What's up, animal? This is the setup here that it was just a setup, right? I'm not taking everything like this, so I have to read momentum of what's happening intraday. So this is the previous weekly high, the previous weekly low. All right. And I was saying, I know I would love for price to come to this rally-based rally. I think we have enough momentum from the top side to bring us back down, and we did. It did go higher than I wanted to, but then it made that drop because price is always trying to find balance, always trying to find equilibrium. However, balance and equilibrium are always adjusting themselves as well. Okay, balance and equilibrium, they're dynamic. Just like support and resistance is dynamic, um, equilibrium and balances are also dynamic, right? So they shift, they move up, they're carrying price up as well. And yeah, so I wanted price to get there. You know, it we had a weekly max calculated. It reached that weekly max to the downside. Now it looks like the same 4 hour rally based rally, which was a bullish rally based rally. The same equilibrium came in, dropped back down, and boom. Okay, so um, now we're going to speculate to see, okay, can we go lower? Do we actually go higher? One thing that's catching my attention is that we're at that 4,000 price level. You guys see that? That 4,000. At first, it was gold to 3,000, right? Gold to 3,000. We overshot that by a lot. All right, it was gold to 3,000 and actually ended up buying all the way to 4,000. It did find some resistance at some point. What was it, 4060? Yeah, right here. 40, yeah, 46. Yeah, it was 40. Getting my numbers here. I think it was 46, or was it just 406? Yeah, yeah, it is right here, right here, right here. Yeah, 4060. So we got that big drop and boom. Alrighty. All right, so let's clean house. Let's speculate kind of one more time. I always like to start a fresh chart, not in the same time, so I like to keep those markers as well for future resources. But let's go ahead and restart this chart. I'm in a Saxo chart, and let's see how we are. Just how I do my top down analysis. A lot of times, I'm also doing this every time. Okay, I'm doing this every time on a scale. Andrich, weren't you the one saying that you shared something to me on YouTube? Remember on YouTube, on Instagram, that one guy that was predicting this drop off simply because it's been like 9 straight weeks, wasn't it? 9 straight. Yeah, yeah. So Andrich had shared something to me that you know we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 consecutive weeks that gold has been opening and closed as bullish. It's never done that in history. I think supposedly according to the video, that guy said that the last time it did that, it was sold off, right? Okay, so FYI. So those are the kind of traders that I like to hear. Okay? Those like number average traders. Um, to me, I think that's a lot of good analysis there. Paul. All right, so let's do this. Okay, let's analyze the previous weekly candle. And the whole purpose of this is right, is kind of just figuring out where we're at and what has price been doing, right? We got to figure out what to do it on a larger scale. so we can create a plan around it. So previous weekly low. All right, so this is interesting right here. Okay, there's a lot of volume, in my opinion, at the opens of candles. More specifically, weekly candle, daily candle, and up to 4 hour candle. That's it, or down to 4 hour candle. I like those are my three standard time frames: 4 hour, daily, weekly. There's a lot of things in between that you can find some detail, but to me personally, those are uh, the bread and butter for me. Okay. So on the weekly scale, right? Remember, today's Wednesday. We have 2 hours and 2 days and 9 hours left for this candlestick to close. Has it already made its low of the week? Has it already made its high of the week? I don't know. But because we already have that wick on both sides, we can potentially measure that direction. It's almost the same. I think it matched it. Let me see. Actually, took the low. It took the low. Okay. So I think, and because we hit the open, we may get some rejection there. Okay. We get some rejection. So let's do this because it did take that low. It's technically liquidated, right? The previous week was technically liquidated. Let's go ahead and mark up these two candlesticks as so. Ready? As so. Now from here, I'm going to go to the 4 hour chart. Okay. And I have that same range, high and low of those 2 weeks. And because it was a bullish scenario, I am going to draw my fib in the bullish direction. As so. Previous week. Danimal, anything you want to add there, man? As get a sip of my coffee here.
No, I was kind of seeing that this same way, we're talking about patterns and hitting it all-time high and trying to break it. I figured, I knew we were ready for a drop off too before on the YouTube guy, because even I was saying we've had way too many weeks up, and fibbing the last two candlesticks was perfect. That's how I like looking at it. That's exactly what I did. I took those last two candlesticks and did the same exact fib.
The last 2 weeks, Danimal?
Yeah.
Awesome, man. Awesome. And yeah, there we are. Last 2 weeks were bullish. And now and again, we're very near that 78% of gold. Gold does like to retrace to those levels. But again, the scales change. The scales change a lot. I was just 60% right there. The scales can change. And we're right there. So are we gonna go back up? Are we gonna go back down? Before we get there, okay, this indicator that I'm using, the higher time frame candlesticks on the weekly scale, there's a way for you to turn on the pip range. And if we notice here, right, this was last week's 373.6. So that's 3,700 pips. It moved that many. This week, it challenged it already, even surpassed it. All right. So if the buyers were strong enough to push it that much, the sellers are definitely matching that same force now. Okay. So in the past, there was more pips to the top side, smaller retracement. Now this week, right? It really pushed it down. Alvaro, yes, we definitely completed the M pattern, right? So this is technically a bullish trading pattern to buy, but I won't buy until there is a confirmation that momentum has turned bullish on the lower scale. But the reason why this M pattern is important is because in trading creates patterns, technical patterns, okay? And there's just too many. There's basically two patterns that I like to focus on. Okay, price is either going to do this, okay? Or it's going to do an M pattern like this, okay? So here's where this is kind of where like what I visually see, and this is where, okay, you know what? Where's price going? Could it go there, or could it go there? That's all it is. And then, okay, I focus here intraday. What are the candlesticks doing? How are they opening? How are they closing? Check a few indicators to confirm, is it going up? Is it going down? Check the fib levels. Are we above or below the 23%? Little things like that. And then once I get those confirmations, I may be buying right here, right? I may be trying to buy right here simply because we're more bullish than bearish, correct? On the overall scale. Oops. And we got a little BEC right there. We're breaking and retesting the 23%, right? So I maybe try to buy from there. But then if that buy doesn't work, well, what's going to happen? It's going to sell, right? And that happened. All right, you know what? This bullish level is not working anymore. Now it's going to sell, and it sold, and therefore it completed its M pattern. So these patterns are happening on every scale. They're fractal. Um, and now we're going to just ask ourselves the same question, right? Where is price going today? Where are we at now? We're at the 61% level. Let's quickly check the daily scale of things. Alrighty. Monday was a bullish day. Tuesday came very bearish. Let's go ahead and measure this bearish day as well from yesterday. And there we have it. The previous day, we covered burgundy since it's the color I like to use. And there we are. Okay. So how has price traveled in this new intraday? Okay. Llegó exactamente, Paul, ¿verdad? Casi no falla. Yesterday was bearish. So you won't have to guess too much. What's a high? What's a low? How do I draw a trend line or whatnot? The easiest thing for me is to always find the highs and the lows of the previous weekly candle or the previous daily candle. Okay, that's the most consistent thing I can show you guys, so you can see how the fib works. Okay, so the high and the low of yesterday, price dropped, hit the 272 negative extension, came back, hit, and it balanced out 23% of that previous day level, and boom, dropped down one more time. You see? So the question is now, right? Are these two lows enough to build some support and maybe balance out price one more time here? Or are we going to go a little bit lower to the lower extensions? And that's kind of the plan. Okay. Are we going to go back up, or we're going to continue down, and push up? All right. So let's go ahead and now let's kind of go to like a 15-minute chart and kind of read momentum and read how we are in the Asian sessions, how much has price moved, and all the good stuff. Okay. The ranges that gold has been moving. And again, we're inside the Asian session. I do see momentum to the downside. So we'll work from there. Let me change my indicator just to give us a different view. Oh wow, sellers are definitely strong. Sellers are definitely strong. That. Very good. Stay. there's no way we can actually analyze the charts, guys, just simply by only staying in the 5, 15-minute charts. This is kind of this view that I'm somewhat backtesting a little bit for us to use. Oh yeah, man. I think what were you saying yesterday, Julio? That was a 90 pip 5-minute candlestick yesterday. I mean, massive, man. Massive. One was over 370. Oh, goodness. All right, guys. Let me see. Let me see. Can I get a good read? Surprisingly, I am more inclined for bearish, of course, right? But all right, here we go. The animal, we have a bullish 204 box, right, man? As of now.
Yes, we do. Do we have a push? Let's see, 204 box. I believe we do.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah.
But we are below that 23% level. Okay, so let's just stick to the rules. I would like to see a break of this low and then pull back and then continue down. But as far as right now, the direction of the intraday movement, okay, it will be bullish, okay, because the structure inside of it is bullish. We are below, the averages that I like to review. And let's see, man.
And what I'm looking for is if this midpoint of the 52 goes below the 23, lower 23 line. That's where I'd be looking for more sells to the previous weekly low.
Okay. Yeah, that one is trending down a bit. Let's see.
But right now, it's like the rubber band has kind of done its thing. We're at the end. We came and hit the low of the previous week. Yeah, it was the previous weekly low, right? Yeah. So a whole candlestick. It's like if we can get below that close of last week's candle, then we're going to continue down. And 3,000 doesn't sound like 3,900 doesn't sound like it'd be impossible. But look at this. Go back to that view you just had. Make it a little bigger. I'll show you something that was caught my eye. Was it you on the 15-minute?
Was it the box in there or not?
The box wasn't in it. No.
So it was the 15-minute. 2 seconds here. 2 seconds, as my old college used to say. 2 seconds, please.
Yo, I want to see more of the previous week. So I think I saw a nice give me more. You had a good view. You saw a lot of candlesticks.
Probably was the 15-minute or
Yeah, I don't know. No, because it went a little further than because I saw a pattern previous to this drop here. Previous to this, I saw an interest like a nice big Elliott wave, and I don't know if we came back and went below the second wave. That's what I'd be looking for is a pattern where that one I saw this Elliott wave came below, and I was below the second wave. That's what I'd be looking for.
Gotcha. Yeah, Paul, yo también estaba pensando eso. Let me take this back over here.
There it is. That's the view I wouldn't mind.
Okay. Yeah, you wanted the 1 hour one, give or take.
Give or take, yeah.
Aquí, previous daily low, Paul. Aquí. 40, 40, 82 más o menos. Perfect. Yeah, so what Paul is looking for or suggesting, right, is that again, look for those support and resistance levels because those are also equilibrium. Okay, those are also equilibrium points. So the previous daily candle, this rectangle, okay, that's the entire movement. It doesn't consider the open or the close, but there's the low, okay, and maybe we come back and distribute a little bit there. We did get one touch already, right? But maybe we come back and kind of come back and rebalance out a little bit there. get some distribution, okay? And then from there, we can potentially continue selling off. So yeah, I agree. I wouldn't continue to sell at the moment. I would like for price to balance out just a little bit back to the low or back to the zero, which is the thing. All right. And I did like something on the 15-minute chart. Okay. And yeah, so Paul is suggesting 50% of Asia. That there's a nice little drop base drop there. What I'm liking, guys, is very similar approach. Okay, very similar approach here. Let me use 48, 30 minutos BC. Ah, 20, está. Excelente. A mí de preferencia, guys, I would like for it to come near the 23% and the 38%, which we have this 1 hour imbalance here, right here. I also use an indicator that looks for fair value gaps, okay? But I only use fair value gaps on the 1 hour and 4 hours. So I don't use anything below that or above that. Just too much imbalance. Even 4 hours too much. The 1 hour is good. Okay. So and I like this simply because, right, our intraday frame, right? The last 17-hour frame, the structure is bullish. It's gonna remain bullish for at least another 4 hours, unless we make a lower low, break this, and then the momentum shift. Or the momentum is bearish, but the structure inside shifts. Okay, so I would personally like to see maybe we come back and test 50% of the last 17 hours, which is very near, right? The previous daily low. Mark a line right here as well. Okay, that's the previous daily low. So it was a little tricky. Okay, this was Tuesday. Okay, previous daily low is Tuesday, which is 50% of the structure, which is 50% of Asia, I believe, right? And I personally would at least like the price to come there. And again, I like that it can come back and test your strategy, right? Zone to zone.
Yep. That's
Zone.
23% line. That's what I'd be looking for, and then see if we get the rejection or not. Yeah. Already we got the swing back to the so go to if you go to the 2 minute, the momentum may have already shifted.
Yep, the momentum has shifted.
Yeah.
It has. All right, yeah, I do like that. Yeah. So this is the speculation, guys, here. It took us a little while simply because the markets are trying to tell us to sell.
Yeah.
But we know pullbacks are coming. So I personally will look for a sell around let me mark on my zone first. I personally will look for a sell in between the 38 and 23%. Okay, right there. That is my selling zone. This little burgundy box that you see. Okay, that is my selling zone right there. Okay, let's see how it looks. So this is my selling zone. And now I'm going to a naked chart and just kind of see where we are, how it's looking the daily. Actually, not daily, 12-hour. My selling zone will doesn't look, I don't not too much info there. On the 8-hour chart, on a Saxo chart, this current candlestick will close in 54 minutes. So we have to wait about an hour. Close, pull back, and go down based on this drop-based drop pattern. 4-hour chart, we did have a drop-based drop. Kind of got engulfed, but we haven't really turned it. Not the best pattern there. 2-hour chart, nice little, it's evening. Is it an evening star pattern here?
Yeah.
Balance out a little bit of that fair value gap that it has on the 2. Looks pretty good. The 1-hour chart, again, that looks pretty good as well. We do have a little fair value gap there. So I like that zone. Just above the previous day of Tuesday. 45 minutes. Let's see how I do. 30. There goes the BC that Pablo see that we can drop from there. we can drop from there as well. Okay. 20-minute, we have this drop, base drop, same zone. And yeah, so my final verdict is this, guys. I prefer it to come up here. Very near the 38%. Very near the 38%. Let's get us there. And if anything, we can take a 50% of the extension of yesterday. Right here. Okay. Yeah, let me. Aquí tiene puta dirección ahí. Okay. Let's say from 38% and take it down here. That's $165 movement. Wow, is that right? Is that accurate? New York has already moved 327 pips.
Well, moved the same as yesterday. So I think it was New York session. So it was 327, Mac, you said? Yeah.
That's a lot.
That's I said the rubber band looked like it was already overstretched when you were
Yep.
on the 5 minute, yeah.
Yep.
With the back system, yeah.
All right, guys. That's a speculation. I'll actually just take it back down to the lows to be safe. All right, this little puzzle today was a little challenging, but that's the best markup that we have, guys. Look for sales between the previous daily low of yesterday and just above 4102, 4120. And that will leave the district right here. All right. We'll begin to close it out. Thanks you guys for being here. Again, we'll be back again this evening for the midweek review. Daniel should be joining us as well. 7:30 a.m. today was the speculation, and 9 p.m. midweek review. For those of you who are interested, we do have an academy. I also have a Telegram that I'm updating, where I'll share more charts there, and that's where everything's going to be centralized, just so I can focus on the one chat, and you guys won't get lost there. But thank you guys for being here. We will be back this evening. Thank you, Nico. And we'll be back this evening for another session to close out. And we'll see you guys then. Thank you. Have a good one. Bye now. Daniel, appreciate it, man.
You're welcome.